Liam and Harry are the type of players we believe could thrive at test level. They bring a physical edge in their performances. They've improved a lot over the last couple of seasons. And that's not just seeing them play, but hearing what they're doing in training. Liam really grabbed his opportunity this year and backed up some really good performances with Edinburgh. And we do see this as an opportunity, probably the last opportunity we'll get over the next maybe 2 seasons, to have a look at players in the wider squad, players that are coming through really quickly that we believe will be big parts of our squad in the future. Regarding Xander and Rory, yeah, they're on target to be available for the New Zealand game. Now, we'll see how they are in camp next week, but they're progressing well, and we want to be in a place for the New Zealand game that we've got a decision to make. They're available for selection, and we'll see whether they are going to be in the squad selection.
In terms of the importance of these 4 games, the world ranking, the draw coming up, the loss to Fiji, obviously means you're playing catch up to get into the top 6. How does that affect the way that these games are approached?
I don't think the ranking is the big concern compared to recent seasons, because being in the top 12 is probably important with 6 pools. It would be nice to be in the top 6 and be first seeds in the pool, but we know now with 16 teams qualifying for the playoffs, the top 2 go through from each pool. So yeah, that's really well in the background. I think the important thing is having these 4 fixtures and doing all we can to win every game. They're massive games, in particular the 2 games against New Zealand and Argentina, who have showed over the last few years are 2 of the best teams in the world, and the opportunities we have to, and the challenge we have playing them is one that's in front of us.
You said in terms of the experience that you now have in your squad, that this is one of the strongest groups, and confident you've been in a group of players since you've been in this role. Is it the aim to win all 4 of these?
Yeah, look, the aim every time we play is to win, and we know that it would be historic to beat New Zealand, but that's a target for us, just like it was last year when we took on South Africa this time, the world champions. We believed in our squad, we believed and the experience the squad have had, their ability, their togetherness, that we could be the #1 team in the world at the time, and that's how we're going to be thinking going into each of these games.
You've extended your contracts, you've taken on this role with Red Bull. It's got a lot of people talking in terms of what this means for you over the rest of this run up to the World Cup. How do you reflect on the amount of reaction there's been to those 2 pieces of news?
Well, my own reflections are, I don't really follow it, so I suppose it's been a change in my situation. I'm absolutely hugely privileged to be able to extend my time in the Scotland head coach role. I feel incredibly grateful to be able to do something which I feel is going to benefit me as a coach, the coaching group, the management group, and also Scottish rugby. And that's something I'm doing in my own time. But the focus primarily and fully over the next 5 weeks is in Scotland, and that's what excites me the most.
Do you understand why people have been critical of the way it looks, that you've taken on another role as well?
Yeah, look, everyone's got their opinions. It's something that obviously I talked about with Scottish rugby and the benefits that we saw in the role. Again, in my own time, I'd like to learn from other sports and other organisations. This gives me an opportunity to do that, but it's not going to be something that I'm focusing on the next few weeks, because that's going to be the Scotland job.
What are the benefits in the long term, or the term of the rest of your contract here with the role with Red Bull, and other aspects of it that you will need to be wary of in terms of the division of your time?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you're with the national team as a coach or as a head coach, there's times when it's really intense and you're in camps and you're on staying in hotels, but there's times throughout the year when you can choose what to do. Like some people do media, some people do work away from rugby, and on this opportunity I have is to work with another sporting organisation or a company that runs different sports, and I feel that's going to be helpful for my learning. They obviously want what I can contribute in terms of advice. Scottish Rugby are very well aware of what that means, and I have to be wary if there's any potential conflicts. But I don't see any. But if there are, then I have to flag that up with my bosses. So that's something to be aware of. Yes.
How confident are you, Gregor, that there will be no crossover, no distractions, no conflicts of interest within this situation?
Well, I'm well aware of my role and the time that I'm able to allocate, and I've got to make sure I manage that, because it'll be less holidays and less time off over the next couple of years. But that's also can be a real positive in terms of energising me and being involved on a wider level with sport and management, and that's what I felt like over the last couple of months. Some of the experiences I've had, it has been energising, but the full focus when I'm with Scotland and also in the planning phases of Scotland, that's the primary, like that's the main role that I'm having, and the role gives me a massive purpose in my life and something I'm totally committed to.
In terms of sport, Magnus Bradbury back in it. He's played since 2022. What have you seen in him to bring him back into the mix?
Well, I think how he developed last year, both as a leader and how he was playing on the field, we had regular connections with him. We did think about taking him on tour, and that didn't happen for a couple of reasons, and nothing to do with rugby. And it's been great that this start of this season, he's carried on that form, he's captain of the club. He's always been a very physical player, Magnus, hard worker, and I think he's still at a very good age to play his best rugby, so he'll get an opportunity, so it's great to have him back.
Jack Dempsey also, another one that's been out for a while. When do you envisage him being involved?
Yeah, this week. Obviously not with us, but fully training by next week. So we know he's fully training with Glasgow, and whether he's playing with them or not the weekend, we'll wait and see when they announce their team. But that's him back fully training. And he did play a game and looked good in that game at the start of the season. And his little setback is a different injury, so he's recovered quickly from that. So yeah, we know he hasn't played a lot of rugby since that Wales game, but he was looking good at the beginning of the season, and we hope over the next couple of weeks he can get some minutes in on the training field and in games.
Great, thank you.